Hello, I'm Jillian Fortner and welcome to Inside City, an interview show produced by the students of San Diego City College. Each week we are talking to the newsmakers of the campus. Today we are going to talk to Professor Ebony Tyree and Dr. Grace Junn. They are both City College faculty who are facilitating the 7th Annual Social Justice and Education Conference here at City College. But first, we're going to give an intro to what the conference has brought to the campus over the years. Let's take a look.
Every year, San Diego City College hosts a social justice and education conference. This event is designed to bring people of all backgrounds together to raise awareness about struggles we face as a society. In its 7th year, this year's conference runs through March 23rd through the 24th on the City College campus and through Zoom. The two-day event features panels and keynote speakers, including our very own City College alumni, Alonzo Harvey. The theme of the conference this year is "We are not here to be bystanders." Through this event, they hope to develop collaborations and bring meaningful social transformation. For CTTV, I'm Jacob McQuinney.
Hello, Professor Tyree. We are so excited to be speaking to you today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So first, I would like to ask you, we just want to start, what is your history behind your involvement with the Social Justice and Education Conference? How did you get your start?
I want to say I started full-time at City College in 2017, spring of 2017. And I want to say beginning spring of 2018, I began working on the Social Justice Conference Committee. I think it was brought in more by Professor Alexander and Professor Lopez in the English department here at City.
Very nice. And you, along with your colleagues, have co-edited Reclaiming Our Stories. Can you tell us who else have you collaborated with on this project?
Oh, the Reclaiming Our Stories project is also with Professor Alexander, Professor Paul Lopez, and Darius Spearman, Professor Darius Spearman, who teaches in the Black Studies Department at San Diego City College, and also Roberta Alexander, who is retired English professor from San Diego City College.
Nice. And staying on the topic of Reclaiming Our Stories, can you tell us what the book is about and who are the people behind the stories?
So Reclaiming Our Stories is a book about, or is a collection of narratives from people in the community. The stories are from various backgrounds and lifestyles and perspectives, but mainly folks who are doing work within the community, right, or have been impacted by our justice system and sharing their narratives with their own voice.
Interesting. Definitely have to check out that. But you've mentioned the concept of curriculum trauma, which is also known as CT. Can you briefly explain what that is for our viewers who may not know?
CT is a theory that I'm working on with two colleagues of mine, Dr. Bull and Professor Keisha Turner from Las Positas College. And really, it's a theory that examines how from matriculation to graduation, right, the academy or institutions cause harm to students without recognizing cultural identity and the impact that it can have in learning institutions.
Yeah, very interesting. So this will be the 7th Annual Social Justice and Education Conference. Can you tell us a little bit of history about how the conference got started?
Social justice, that might be a question for Paul Alexander and Dr. Grace. But from what I've heard, right, because I was not here from its inception. I think it was the 3rd year, but that it started out as a book fair. Once upon a time there was a really big book fair that would happen every year, and there were some funds there. And through the English department, I believe, or some folks in the English department decided, hey, why not have a conference? And it was Professor Paul Alexander that I think had the original vision behind the Social Justice Conference, and it's carried over ever since then.
Oh, that's super cool. And what I noticed on the front page and in the icon, there's a graphic of a bird that was placed there for a reason. Can you expand on what this bird symbolizes?
So our committee name is Sankofa Committee, We plan the Social Justice Conference every year, and the Sankofa bird is representative of, or Sankofa means, right, to retrieve, right, or to get back that which was lost from, I think, the Ghanaian language. So yes, that's the significance of the Sankofa bird.
Very interesting. And so every year the event hosts a wide range of speakers from all different kinds of backgrounds and experiences. Can you tell us about the speakers and what we have to look forward to hearing from them?
Well, we have our keynotes. Linda Sarsour, who is also the author of We Are Not Here to Be Bystanders, which is the conference theme this year. And Linda Sarsour, Celeste Smith, who is also the founder or co-founder of One Hood, a nonprofit in the area of Philadelphia. And then our closing keynotes, Alonzo Harvey. Alonzo, who is a City College alum, now attending Berkeley, and Blake Lucas, a San Diego community activist in the area, will close out the conference. And so you have what you have to look forward to from all of our speakers and panelists are people who come with experiences and a wealth of knowledge and information, right, about social justice, and also the narratives they'll share in terms of how they've navigated systems and institutions and continue to help and give back to communities.
Wow, that is very exciting. And it was such a pleasure to speak with you, Professor Tyree. But don't go anywhere yet, because we'll be back right after the break.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to Inside City. So we got to spend some time getting to know one of our committee members, Professor Tyree. We will now be speaking to Professor Grace Jun. So, you are also a committee member, a part hosting the conference next week. Can you tell us how you got started with this conference?
Hi, yes, thank you for having me. I also was invited to join the conference by Professor Khaled Alexander of the English department. And I have been involved ever since, just contributing where I can. It first started with bringing my dance students to the lunch hour for art and movement. I've also performed with my company in some of the events, and then just connecting out to members of the community who I thought would be great as panelists. And I've been involved ever since. Last year, I co-chaired with Professor Paul Lopez and have continued the work this time around with Professor Tyree.
Yeah, what a great thing to be a part of. So I know the theme of this year's Social Justice Conference is "We are not here to be bystanders." Can you elaborate on what this statement means?
Well, we definitely borrowed the title from our panelist, our keynote panelist, Linda Sarsour, but just the concept of that everybody needs to contribute to social justice in various ways. And often I think when we think about justice movements, there's this idea that you have to be in the front line or you have to be a speaker, but everybody's contributions are just as important. And a lot of times that first starts with education. So learning about the issues, finding a stance on the issues, and then coming together in community and being aligned in values is how we start.
Yeah, that is a very important message. And I know there's going to be a number of great speakers at the conference. And there will also be some displays of art. Can you tell us about what the artists will be attending? or some of them that will be?
Well, this year, I guess it's now headed by Professor, all right, her name is escaping me now. Anna Delgado in the art department. We are going to have a 3B collective muralist come down and create a mural specifically in collaboration with our students. For the conference, this is the first time we are doing this, but also thinking about street art or public art as a way to share our values, our messages. And so having them come down from LA, they're mostly in LA, to share with the students the experience of the process of making public art is what's going to happen. Unfortunately, we've had to push our time, so we are going to be doing this after the conference, but you should definitely see the art on campus as you come by this year.
Definitely. I really want to check that out. And so what's a takeaway that you're hoping to resonate with those that attend the conference?
Just going along the theme of how can you get involved? How can you activate yourselves and your communities to really think about the little ways that our contributions make difference, how we here specifically at City, how can we make our campus climate better? How can we make sure students receive the support they can, especially when we all come from different backgrounds and different advantages?
Yes, exactly.
And then also just connecting to the people here, right? We've been away for a couple years now, and so how can we come back to campus and reconnect and really build together?
Thank you so much to both of you for your time, and we're looking forward to next week's event.
Thank you so much. Yes, please register. We do have some swag bags that we're putting together for our students and attendees, and we'll be sharing that information. But please come. We do have a wonderful roster of speakers and panelists.
Definitely. Everyone should come check out the event. To find out more information on the 7th Annual Social Justice and Education Conference, visit Social Justice and Education Conference, sdcc.org. And that's all we have for tonight on this edition of Inside City. Remember to follow SD City Times on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you for joining us, and good night.